All right, welcome back. Yesterday, and I finished it up today for a buddy of mine. Started rigging out his kayak, put the anchor trolley on, fish finder, the anchor wizard, but mainly the biggest was the fish finder. So what I like to do is I'll spin you around and show you what we got going on and what we're working with. All right, so the boat that he has, it's the Old Town Sportsman 120. He opted for the paddle version. You don't really see too many of these. Most are going with the paddle or the motor, but this is the one he went with, so that's what we're working with. So like I said, we added Yak Attack anchor trolley. Got that all in to work together with the anchor wizard. This is the low profile model. And we'll just run it through here to whatever style anchor he ends up getting. Two of the roto grips on. This way you can lay your paddle across when you do catch a fish. There's kind of a lot going on to be sticking the paddle, forwards or across your lap kind of deal. So this kayak does have a paddle clip on the other side it comes with, but this is going to be a little safer, more easier option. So the biggest thing was he went with the Garmin Striker 4CV, so it's the clear view. Originally he was going to go with something bigger, so he got the rectangular mount from Yak Attack. Bought that before the fish finder, so after getting the Garmin, as everyone knows, it's got the round base. So I had an extra cup holder laying around, so what I did was just mounted that to the base and kind of utilize some of the dead space of that mount. Throw your sunglasses in there like you see, pliers, baits, whatever you want, but just makes it look a little neater. So let me get into showing you how we decided to run this. All right, so we quickly realized that the tracks that come on this kayak are complete garbage, whether it's this one or all of them. Almost everything you do, you have to fight it in here. The way the Yak Attack mount was, it was kind of just like going to be in the way of paddling, I think. And it didn't really sit in here very well in the tracks. So we ended up going with the 6-inch on here, the Yak Attack gear track. We mounted it there. Took off the arm to lower the fish finder down a little bit. And this way it sits up high enough that you could see. If you wanted to stand, you can still tip that back and look up. So we did have to drill some holes to make everything work, but it's all one solid unit now that you can either take off at the base and unplug it, or just unplug it and take off the unit itself, which is probably what it'll do more than likely. So the transducer, where we fish, I fish a lot with them, so there's a lot of stumps, there's a lot of rocks, there's a lot of stuff in the water, a lot of shallow spots. So the transducer really couldn't be below the kayak on this one. We're not really in these big deep lakes all the time. So let me grab a light and I'll show you how we did that. All right, so you got your transducer right here, and what I did was I had pretty heavy duty aluminum, stainless steel actually, bracket, an L bracket. Ran it through up here with lock washers, connected it that way. I had to take this plate off, run bolts through, and then double nut it on the back side. This way it should, it'll stay on tight. So this way it stays on tight and you shouldn't worry about anything coming loose. We did leave a little play in here, so if you tap something, it'll come up a little bit without bending or breaking anything. and pretty much as high as we could go, but I mean, you're maybe a 1/4 inch below this, so nothing terrible, and everything should be all right there. But everything that we've seen, you definitely had to do some sort of customizing to make this work with this style transducer, at least. So once we got that situated, we ran the line up here, went through with the Yak Attack through-hole kit, and you saw the battery box build in one of my last videos. If you haven't, you can go back, take a look. So the wires coiled up, and then the two flat post prong connector coming out here, and the battery box is velcroed down. So once we got the power end ran through and the transducer ran down in there, this is where we decided to come up out of the kayak with it. So another Yak Tech through-hole kit. Ran the wires up. I just used the zip ties to keep them together, make it look a little neater. Use orange ones, kind of go with the theme. And right up into the head unit itself. So other than exactly where to mount it, it was a pretty easy install, and I think it came out pretty clean looking. So, you know, if you were sitting in it looking at it this way, obviously this is with a GoPro, so it looks farther away than it is. Everything works out good. It's out of the way when you're going to have the hog trough here, or the catch board. Got a little accessory holder up there next to it, kind of keeps the deck clean, everything away from your feet, because we do a lot of standing in these kayaks, so you don't want to clutter this area up too much. Like I said, with these tracks, originally we were going to mount it to the tracks off to the side, but it was still just too tall. It looked a little goofy, so this is the way we both agreed on, and he liked it, so that's the way we went with it. So if you have any other questions about how this is mounted, let me know, and I'll try to get back to you in the comments as soon as possible. Thanks.